Today we are going to dive into a really fun subject of the unwritten rules of Instagram or social media. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I'm so sorry. Life just gets in the way. I'm a mom of 3. I run my own business. And we moved, so I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm just gonna let you know life got in the way, but hey, I'm here and I'm trying to make a few YouTube videos once in a while, so here's another one, hope you like it. I thought this would be a fun little video to throw together because all of these ideas were brought up by you, by some of my followers on Instagram. I just asked, what are the unwritten rules of Instagram? Kind of like the unknown Instagram etiquette, because honestly, you don't even realize it, but you can tick people off really easily because there's these rules that nobody really knows about, but everybody knows about, but they're not, really solidified, so you should follow the rules. But if there's no rules, how can you follow the rules? So let's talk about it. All right, so let's dive right in. And remember, these are not my unwritten rules. These are written by you guys or suggestions from you. Some of them were quite similar, so I'm gonna read some of either like the good ones or even kind of condense some of the ones that were similar. So first up, Megan Elizabeth says, generally if someone comments/engages, then most engage back. True that. I would say that is a very solid unwritten rule of the gram, specifically in the influencer platform, as like a lot of us moms kind of got started out together. And so even if you're not in like official pods with people, it's just one of those like courtesy things where if like I like and comment on your photo, typically, you'll reciprocate with a comment and a like. Now, of course, we're moms, we get busy. It doesn't always happen, but it is kind of one of those things. And I do note the moms who regularly like and comment my stuff. Like you would think with over 40,000 followers, it'd be hard to notice that stuff. It's not, or it's not as hard as you would think. A lot of times know the moms who regularly comment on my stuff. So when one of their photos floats past me on my feed, I am surely going to like and comment on theirs as well. Alexandra Owen says, always like responses to stories/comments on posts. Just feels polite. Now this one, I'm like, that's a good one. I can't say that I abide by that one, but I absolutely see where she's coming from. My problem is typically like if I'm scrolling through the comments on one of my posts and I'm liking them, I have to comment, and so usually I only take the time to go through and read the comments if I have the time to comment back. But she has a really good point because of course, if somebody's taking the time out of their day to comment on one of my things, personally, I do try to respond, but it doesn't always happen. So that's a really good one. I think I need to get better at that. Brittany plus Boys brings up, if someone has a sponsored post up and you don't like that product, don't comment that. Praise the Lord. My gosh, I cannot tell you how many times I've been so frustrated, that whenever I share a product and I'm like, oh, blah, 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 check this out. Somebody like, oh, I didn't like it, or that was terrible, or I don't know, where they like leave a rude comment about the product. I get it. I get that you have an opinion. I get that you didn't like the product. A sponsored post is not particularly the most appropriate place to leave that. Just laying it out there. I completely 100% agree with Brittany. Please be supportive as best as possible. Mommy, I love you so big says, act like you're part of a community. Which is a really good point because that is kind of the general point of social media and, the Instagram platform is to create community. So yes, that's an excellent point because typically mamas wouldn't be walking into their church group gossiping and, leaving all the mean and rude comments that they leave on my posts all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like in real life, if you were in a real community, you probably would be a lot kinder than you are online. So I absolutely agree with her. Ooh, 31 years Taylor brings up probably the best one yet. No offense, ... but no, not on social media, ever. It's rude. Yuck. Oh my gosh, so much yes to that. I literally could not agree with her more. If you have to preface what you're about to say with, I'm not trying to be rude, but, or no offense, or with all due respect, we all know that you're about to go off without respect. And really, I think the hardest part is the truth of the matter is, ain't nobody gonna change anybody else's mind through heated debate on social media. So again, if you have to go, no offense, but, you probably should just take that back, delete it, close the app down, walk away. Walk away. Aaron Marks 218 says, I wish this was one. Be kind. Remember, there's a real person behind all these accounts. Yep. I mean, like, I just can't even go there. This is literally like the number one golden rule, in my opinion, of Instagram. Please remember to be kind because there's real people on the other side of the screen. Honey and Bet says, be original in your handle. Don't copy your favorite blogger/influencer. Put a little effort in. Magical Muse Moments. You don't reshare someone's photo without asking, tagging them, and crediting it's theirs. We briefly touched on this one already, but Puns and Little One says to reciprocate comments and not to follow unfollow. This is a biggie because the follow unfollow method was so widely preached when I first got started, and it still is actually a popular method for growth. Miranda Southern says, if you take the time to read a post, comment. If you take the time to watch a story, engage. Oh, biggest pet peeve because ghost followers actually hurt accounts when you just sit there, you know, you see the post or you watch their stories, but you never engage on like the polls on their stories or you never like or comment. It hurts our accounts. So yes, let me just say that Miranda speaks truth here in saying, please engage now and again. Thousands of people watch my stories daily, and I only have a couple hundred who respond to the polls. Even if they're like silly polls or easy polls, it doesn't matter. Like, you still only get maybe a quarter of the people who watch the stories. Why? And yes, most importantly, please engage on posts. If you take the moment to scroll, you see the post, you like the post, and I don't mean double tap. Like, I mean, you're looking at the post, and you're like, oh, I really like that picture. Please double tap. It hurts us when you see it and you scroll and leave it alone. I understand if you don't actually like the photo because you're like, that's not really me or whatever. You don't have to like it. Like, that's up to you. But if you actually, you know, if it made you smile, if it made you laugh, double tap. Double tap. Double tap. Kelly Gamble says, share honestly and authentically and be you, not anyone else. Emily Gaskell says, always be kind and don't shame others. House of Birds says, I think if you wouldn't want someone to do it to you, don't do it. One Super Easton, stay uniquely you. Kira Kate says, be authentic, which I think is actually a growing trend on Instagram. People are becoming more and more just bored with a lot of the Insta perfection that was so popular, maybe even like 4 and 5 years ago, where people were just a little overboard on creating like the perfect feed and just making everything look so dreamy and beautiful. Not that, again, it's not wrong, it's a style and stuff, but I think Instagram went so far in one direction that people are like headed really far back in the other direction where they want authenticity, they want people to be real, down to earth, you know, really share the good and the bad. So be authentic. I think that one's important. And the most common response that I got was give credit where credit is due. If you're going to, you know, use somebody's photo, tag them, credit them, it's theirs. If you're going to remake somebody's photo, credit them with the idea, you know, if you got inspiration somewhere, credit, like, you really can't ever go overboard on credit. Basically, the bottom line is if there was somebody in the back of your mind, you know, when you were creating your own photo, or you saw a photo and went, gosh, I want to use that quote, or gosh, you know, I want to do a similar pose, please credit. It's the kind thing to do. Don't be a copycat. We'll get into that later. But that was the number one biggest response that I got was give credit, FFS. Oh, I think that's naughty. But anyhow. So these were just a quick of the few unwritten rules of Instagram, or maybe Instagram etiquette, if you will, that you guys felt were important. And honestly, I agree with all of them. Be kind, respond to comments, reciprocate comments, engage. All of these things are so incredibly important. And yes, if you are going to remake, reshare, or, be inspired by somebody's photo, please give them credit. It is the kind thing to do. If you haven't watched my other videos in my Instagram series, I hope you will go back and do that. I try to pack as much information into them as I can. And while this one was basically led by you, all the other ones are kind of my own ideas, and some of the things, the tips, tricks, and advice that I've learned along the way in being an influencer. Of course, make sure that you're following me on Instagram at HonestlyMommy. You can check out my blog, HeyHonestlyMommy.com, and look under the social media mom tab for tons of blog posts with even more in-depth topics and ideas on how to grow your Instagram account or your social media presence in general. So again, remember that sharing is caring, engaging is important. Like, share, subscribe to my page, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. See you next time.